Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Manning Field for Game 2 in this opening of the 2019 season. Lynn Classical taking on St. Mary's. The winner of this will get Lynn English in the 2019 championship tournament. The loser will get Lynn Tech. St. Mary's in their typical blue and gold. Classical in their normal white and green. Trying to center it. Loose in front, and they knock it home. Didn't take long. 22 seconds. St. Mary's gets on the board. They hustled down, threw it out in front, knocked off a couple of players, and right there and just tipped it home. So Coach Mike Shenna, welcome to the North Shore. Your first year coaching Lynn Classical in 32 seconds. St. Mary's gets on the board. Danny, who'd you give it to? Huh? Gabriela Diaz was out in front, said thank you for that nice little push out in front, and she knocked it home. Alexandra Show is in net for Classical. Eliza Brown for St. Mary's. Nice little crowd here for the opening of the season. Tomorrow night will be boys' night here. It'll be the same setup. First game, Tech and English. Second game, St. Mary's and Classical. So Classical sees St. Mary's get on the board very quickly, but they can say to themselves, we got a lot of soccer left to play. Classical obviously from the Northeastern Conference. St. Mary's from the Catholic Central League. I think both of these teams made the tournament last year. St. Mary's down deep again, in control. Still in control, trying to get it to the net. The shot went wide to the near side and out of play. So St. Mary's kind of shocked them 32 seconds into the game, getting on the board. Both teams lost very good players from last year's roster, but they've got some pretty good experience back. St. Mary's keeping the pressure on. Classical has been stuck in their end. And they're going to call Classical for a takedown. It looked more like she tripped on her own rather than Classical taking her down, but they're going to give St. Mary's a free kick. Coming from the 20-yard line, inside the 20-yard line at a tough angle. Out in front. Off of St. Mary's foot. Classical takes it away. And it goes out off Classical. Quick throw in, tipped. Classical kicks it out of play. St. Mary's will get the throw in down deep. They'll give it back to the. Now we're going to give it back to the goaltender show. Now they're going to kick it away. And St. Mary's knocks it right back on the Classical end. Blocked. And Classical can't get the ball past midfield. Can't clear their own end. They knock it deep. Got around the defense, and the centering pass went off the right side of her foot and went out of play. St. Mary's right back at it. Knocked out. Classical will get to kick it away. They make another substitution. Bounces by. Classical finally gets the ball into St. Mary's territory. Knocked out by St. Mary's. It got knocked out by Constine. Morgan Mackey is that deep center fielder for St. Mary's, outstanding defender. I know she's been at least 3 years, maybe 4-year player. Senior this year, but she's been outstanding. St. Mary's at that back end, and every once in a while they stick her up front, and she scores a couple of goals for them. She's been a big part of St. Mary's success. As Classical knocks it into the St. Mary's bench area. Classical hasn't come anywhere close to Eliza Brown in net. She's the daughter of David Brown, the basketball coach. They knock it deep to the near side. Foot race. Looking for a break. And great hustle getting back. That's Chloe Kebrew, who's been a mainstay back on defense for Classical last couple of years. Really hustled back and broke that play up. Looked like it might be a breakaway, at least a shot on net. They bang it out off a name that some people may remember from classical sports, Ava Thurman, young freshman playing for classical. Knocked deep off the foot of Katie O'Neill. Opponent went too far, went out of play. 10 minutes into this first half, St. Mary's kind of shocked Classical, knocking them down 1-0, 32 seconds in on a goal by Gabriela Diaz. And St. Mary's has dominated position-wise. And it gets knocked out. Izzy McGaughy. That went out off her. Now Mackey with it. Upfield. St. Mary's sends it deep, looking for a break. Kebrew getting back there and breaking the play up. Jada Mateo battling, and Mateo took it away. Now Kebrew takes it back, and Classical lost it out of play. Corner kick for the Lady Spartans coming from the near side. Just missed it, went by everybody. And St. Mary's flying in from the far side and just couldn't get a foot or a body on it. Everybody wants that corner kick just float by. Just the slightest touch, if it hit off a body or off a leg or the chest, would have gone right in the net. They were almost leaning against the post. Now the ball goes all the way through on a big hop, and Alexandra Show, the goaltender, picked it off. Knocked deep by Molly Mannion. Knocked out by St. Mary's. This is as deep as St. Mary's has been in this first half. And St. Mary's takes it away. Classical knocks it deep. Mackey is back there to knock it back to the Classical end. He tried to knock it deep. Kebrew was there to knock it away. And we got bumping and banging going on, so Classical's going to get a free kick. Kebrew will take it. Classical trying to keep it alive. They bang it off Classical. St. Mary's trying to clear it. They banged it off a Classical leg and it went out of play. Mackey will kick it away. Line drives it. Classical keeps it in the St. Mary's end. Now it's cleared away. Mary's with a rush down the far side. Getting loose. Beating the defense down, walking in, taking the shot. Missed it to the near side. Great try, great rush. Good speed. And just couldn't get it on net. That might have been Diaz again, looking for another goal. Classical trying to keep it alive. They knock it out of play. Classical takes it away. They knock it deep. Mackey is there to take it away. They knock it deep, trying to send Diaz in. They knocked it too deep. Show will get to kick it away. We mentioned Mike Shenna on the bench for Glasgow as their coach, first year. Mackey heads it away. And it was a little bit of a collision. And they're going to call it against Classical, and St. Mary's to get a free kick from about the 40-yard line. Mackey will take it. Classical knocks it loose. Pops straight up in the air. Winds up with Classical. And they start it back. Deflected away. Mackey winds up with it. Trying to knock it deep. Classical's defense knocks it away. Classical looking for a break. Pushed it by Mackey, but pushed it too far and it went out of play. Tipped away, they have to kick it back to Show. Kind of just got a little piece of it, tipped it straight up in the air. And Classical hustled back to defense and broke up what could have been a clear shot for St. Mary's. They tried to give it back to the goaltender, and she got a piece that just pumped it up, only went about 5 yards. But the defense bailed her out, getting and blocking it, not letting St. Mary's get a kick away. Out off Kebrew. Substitutions for Classical. I'm not sure what that whistle was for. I don't know if somebody made contact or hit somebody. Classical's going to get a free kick. Might have got somebody on the hand when it was trying to center it. Mackey collects. Gets it to Cornell. Nice little pass. Broken up nicely by the defense. St. Mary's gets it back. Broken up again. Deflected toward the net. Keebler got a little bit of a bump on one of the St. Mary's players, slowed her down from getting to the ball, and Shaw was able to come out and pick it off. She didn't kick it, she threw it away. Glasgow gets it back. Trying to knock it deep. And it got broken up by Kornstein. And it gets booted up ahead by Katie Miller. Knocked deep, it's going to go out of play. Halfway through and counting this first half. As I say that, we're going to get a timeout. So the timeout comes with St. Mary's leading it. They scored 32 seconds into the game, and that's been it. They've dominated position-wise, but it's still only 1-0 St. Mary's as we get a timeout just past the halfway mark. None of your business if I'm doing play-by-play. I hope you are, because you're watching a soccer game. You're not even watching, you're reading your computer. No, I'm working. Yeah, well, if you are, it's the first time. Woo! Out of the timeout, St. Mary's still not letting Glasgow get anywhere near. Perfect pass, walking in. Cornell made a great pass, and Diaz walked in and had it an easy play. What a great pass by Cornell. Perfect timing. They weren't offside. She shoveled it ahead, and Shaw had no chance. She's guarding that Grand Canyon. Once again, I gave it to Diaz. They look almost the same, Diaz and Demers. Demers got the goal. But what a perfect pass by Cornell. She split the defense. She was in the middle of the field, and she just made a nice little touch pass, just enough that they weren't offside, and led Demers nicely. She walked in all by herself, and Shaw had no chance. Like I always say, she's guarding the Grand Canyon. And Demers had any one of a number of places she could have knocked the ball in. And she just banged it by Shaw. And St. Mary's has jumped out now to a 2-0 lead. I mentioned Mike Shenner's first year at Classical. Jimmy Foley has been around for a while on the bench for St. Mary's. They knock it deep. St. Mary's gets there first. And they bang it out off Classical, and St. Mary's will get a corner kick. Coming from the near side. Right out in front. Classical heads it away, right back. They kind of shanked the kick. Now they pop it up straight to the net. Show caught it and knocked it down in front of her and grabbed it just before a blue shirt came out in front, trying to knock it away. This is the 2019 City Series soccer tournament. This is how we start the season off every year on LETV. I always say Channel 15 because that's my channel. The boys take center stage tomorrow, and it's always kind of an oddity because we're playing this game and the first game that we play tonight with English and Tech, and this one, St. Mary's and Classical, and nobody is back in school yet. This is still a vacation day. School doesn't start till tomorrow, and for some of these, like seniors, they don't start till Wednesday or Thursday. Out in front, trying to get a head on it, trying to keep it alive. Classical trying to kick it away. They finally do. St. Mary's gets it back, and they keep it in the Classical end. Classical's had a lot of trouble getting it out of their own zone. Substitution coming in for Classical. 15 minutes and counting. Classical lets it go out of play. And Show will kick it away. And St. Mary's makes a change. Cornell with it. Blocked by the defense and knocked out. Haskell takes it away with a break and pushed it a little too far. Mary Collins had it with a rush and just got a little too much pushing it ahead, and it got broken up by Olivia Egan. Olivia Egan's only a freshman for St. Mary's. Out off St. Mary's. Classical has not come anywhere near Eliza Brown with a kick. They've only had the ball in St. Mary's territory for a short period of time. St. Mary's has dominated territorial-wise, and it shows on the board with St. Mary's leading 2-0. Through the middle, St. Mary's coming. They knock it deep. Show coming way out of the net to kick it away over the Classical bench area. She came all the way out to almost the 15-yard line, way to the far side, so a lot more than 15 yards running from the net. Down the near side, St. Mary's has it. Katie O'Neill had it knocked away. She gets it back. Trying to give it back. It got popped up. Classical picked it off. And it goes out. out of McGaughy. O'Neill trying to give it back. Defense hustling, breaking up the play. St. Mary's picks off the pass. Cross to Cornell. Trying to throw it to the net. Blocked. And I think they thought St. Mary was going to break to the net because they threw it down the near side and they didn't go. It just went harmlessly out of bounds. Show will kick it away. Off Cornell's head. I thought Cornell got hurt. She dropped her head. I thought it hurt when she hit her head, but she knocked off the elastic or whatever it is that was wrapping her hair up, and she's trying to get it back because she's going to be substituted for. That was the reason for her head dropping down. She had to go get the elastic or whatever it was that was keeping her hair in place. Trying to knock it deep. Classical gets there first. And it winds up going out off St. Mary's. And now it goes out off Classical. Out again off Classical. 10 minutes and counting left in this first half. 2-0 St. Mary's. Nice job by Show. That was out in front of the net. St. Mary's player going to the net, looking, hopefully she'd get a shot at it. Show stepped out and picked it off before anybody could get a touch. And Classical clears it away. And now that ball bouncing around got touched by the hand or the arm of St. Mary's. Classical will get a free kick from midfield. Kebrew will take it. Loose out in front. And there's Mackey kicking it away. Sees that safety valve back at center field on defense. Popped up. There's Mannion. He's playing well back there on the back line. I have to say Kathleen Mannion, because there's two of them. There's also Molly. They get around the defense. And couldn't get around Mackey. Nice try. That was Molly Mannion there. Got around the defense and tried to get it back to the middle. And there was Mackey, that center fielder I talked about, taking it away. Katie O'Neill just got a toe on it. Mannion bangs it off Egan, or bangs it off O'Neill rather. Yeah, with 6:57 left, we'll get another timeout. So they came out of the timeout last time and scored a very pretty goal on a tremendous pass by Susanna Cornell to Demers. And let's see how this one works out. 6:57 left in this, the second game of the Lynn City tournament. St. Mary's 2. Classical nothing with just under 7 minutes left in the first half. Out of the timeout, Mannion with the throw-in. Again, that's Kathleen Mannion. Kick got blocked and knocked out by the Lady Spartans. Mannion again with the throw-in. O'Neill picks it off. Yeah, went off the head of Kenzie McLaren, out of play. St. Mary's knocks it in, trying to get it before it goes out of play. They just saved it. Centering it. Kebrew came back and made the play. She went up with her body and blocked the centering pass, knocked it down, and then St. Mary's trying to get it to the net, kicked it out of play. 6 minutes and counting left in this first half, 2-0 St. Mary's. And out of play off Classical. They tip it all the way back. Shaw will come out and play it. And she'll kick it away. English in the first game tonight shut out Lynn Tech. Tech didn't have any luck at all. They had a penalty kick and hit the crossbar, and they had another free kick and hit the crossbar. They played well. But too much of Melissa Zayas, who had a hat trick and got an assist on the fourth goal and was 4-0 English. So English will get the winner of this one. And they'll play for the championship on Saturday. That game, championship game at 1 o'clock. Boys championship game will be at 3 o'clock. But we start at 9 in the morning with the losers bracket girls, and then 10:45 loser bracket boys. Long lead. St. Mary's trying to get there. Shaw gets there first. Good hustle by Shaw. Looked like, I think that's Demers again. Trying to get there before the defender. Looks like she might have had a step on the defender. And Shaw came out and just took it away. Demers is looking for her second goal. They knock it deep. Here's Demers again. Throws it out in front. What a great play. Great pass from Demers. She had a chance to take the shot. She beat the defense. She was walking in. She saw the defense coming over. She just threw the nice little pass across, and they banged it home. All around the net. Classical finally clears it away. It was Gabriela Diaz getting her second goal, but what a great, we've seen two perfectly placed passes. The first one by Cornell that sent Demers in all alone, and then this one was Demers walking in all by herself, saw the defense coming over, and just laid it across. It was 2-on-1. Just laid across. There was nobody there to bother Gabriela Diaz, and she just whacked it home. So Diaz picks up her second point, 2 goals. Demers picks up her second goal, her second point, a goal and assist. And it comes late in the first half, and that pushes St. Mary's lead to 3-0. Corner kick coming up from the Spartans from the far side. Kind of a ground ball. Classical trying to kick it away. And he kicked it right into the midsection of one of the St. Mary's players. And she's a little bit doubled up because it got her in the midsection. Probably knocked the wind out of her. And on top of that, it went off her out of play. And she's staying in. Says she's okay. Thankful for that. 2 minutes left in this first half. It's been all St. Mary's. And St. Mary's keeps it alive again. O'Neill and Demers playing catch. Now they knock it off the top of the net. O'Neill from a tough angle got the shot off. It was going to the far post, and it just hit on top of the net. It was about a foot lower. It would have gone in the top corner. Good bid by Katie O'Neill. We mentioned Classical in the Northeastern Conference is going to be a little harder for both English and Classical this year because they didn't play. I think the last couple of years they haven't played Peabody or Danvers or Beverly, Marblehead or Swampscott because they were playing Medford, Malden, Somerville, and Everett. But they were voted out of the league at the end of last year. So now they're going to have to play those teams. That's going to make that Northeastern Conference just that much harder. So the bell rings to end the first half. A big one by St. Mary's. They dominated territorial-wise, and they dominate on the scoreboard. Diaz with 2 goals, Demers with a goal and assist, and it's 3-0 St. Mary's over Classical at halftime. St. Mary's with a 3-goal lead as we start the second half. And the 3-goal lead, a pretty good lead at the half, and it was dominating because Classical didn't get a shot on net. They weren't even close, and they went a long time before they got the ball out of their own end. Tough for the Classical players. They got another coach. We mentioned Mike Shenna, new coach. We wish him the best. But this is like, I don't know if this is I know it's the second year, but might be the 3rd straight year with a different coach for these Classical young ladies. Show boots it away. Oscar knocking it deep. Mackey is there to knock it away. And here's Mackey again. Just one of those players where you don't read her name in the paper that often because she's not scoring goals or she's not getting a goal with 10 seconds left to win the game, but she's more than helping her team win games with her defense, keeping the other team off the board, making it easier for the offense where they won't need that many goals. He's helping her team not to give up that too many goals, which keeps them in most games. Knocked away defensively by Ava Correnti. Only a sophomore. And now we got a collision. Bodies going down. As Mackenzie Shea got leveled. She's a really good athlete. Soccer, she's a good softball player too. Ava Correnti. Haskell is as deep as they've been in a long time, and St. Mary's knocks it away. Classical gets it back. Knock it deep. Classical got a piece of it, and then Classical knocked it out. That was Mannion, I think, knocking it out. And again, Kathleen Mannion. Now out off St. Mary's. Hebrew knocks it away. Popped up. And it wound up going off St. Mary's. Looked like it was going to go out anyway, but Allie Fritz, another one of those freshmen for St. Mary's, got a foot on it. It looked like it was going to go out anyway, but she got a foot on it and helped it out. Classical will get the throw in as we get a substitution for Classical. 5 minutes into the second half. Classical trying to get something going offensively as it goes out off St. Mary's. And Correnti with the throw-in. And it looked like it went out off Kornstein. Correnti again with the throw-in. Knocked out by St. Mary's. Classical down deep. St. Mary's boots it away. They knock it deep. And there's that speed of St. Mary's getting there first. Nice little shift, but then it got knocked away nicely by the defense. Cornell with the lead pass. I don't know if Scholl swung and missed at that ball. The lead pass by Cornell went right through everybody. And it looked like, I don't know, Show was just blocking the St. Mary's player from getting to it, or she swung and missed, but she didn't touch it, and the pass just went harmlessly out of bounds, and Glasgow will kick it away. But Cornell, again, trying to make that nice little touch pass. She made a beautiful pass in the first half for the second goal. Up and out off St. Mary's. Carenti is going to take the throw in, but not before we get a substitution. St. Mary's gets there first and knocks it away. Cornell with it. Kebrew steps up and knocks it away off Mackey's head to the near side. She'll track it down and boot it away. And then trying to get it back upfield. And went off the foot of Jessica Page, who went out of play. Cornell with the lead pass, walking in, and they score again. Another perfect pass by Cornell. And Demers gets her second goal, her third point. They combined before on a perfect pass, and now Cornell does it again. And it's 4-0. Diaz and Demers getting 2 goals apiece. Demers picking up an assist. Cornell getting 2 assists on 2 perfect passes. She just pushed it ahead, and Demers just used her speed to beat the defense, walked in, and again, Show had no chance. Haskell has to knock it out because it looked like St. Mary's might get a chance for another shot. That would have been Niccolo, I believe. They tried to give the ball back, and they weren't there. Emily Egan threw the ball in and broke down deep, and they tried to, thinking she was still there, they tried to give it back to her. She wasn't there, went out of play. Now it goes out again. Classical will get the throw in. So the first game was 4-0 English, and now we have 4-0 St. Mary's. And we're 10 minutes in to the second half. And Classical has not come close. Is that the freshman in that for St. Mary's? That's not Brown, right? You're still Brown? I thought maybe St. Mary's changed goaltenders. It didn't look like Eliza Brown to me, but they say no, she's still there. Trying to center it. Classical's there to knock it away. As Demers getting involved again. She is so quick. If you blink, she's by you. And Mary's takes it away. They get it to Cornell. Watch out here. Little touch pass. That one goes a little too far. It went to the goaltender. It wound up being a shot on net. Knocked out by Mackey. Cornell is so good with that little touch. It's just enough on the ball to get it. Lead the would-be goal scorer. And she's made 2 beauties tonight. Substitutions for both teams. And we got another substitution. You're going to give Demers a rest. And the throw-in goes out of play. So Carenti will get the throw-in for Classical. They knock it deep. St. Mary's is out in front. Nice defense by Mannion. They try to make a little move and get around Mannion. She couldn't. And now Mannion was going to throw the ball in play. St. Mary's threw the ball in play. We got a whistle because it's supposed to be Classical putting the ball in play. Now all the confusion, it goes out again off Classical. St. Mary's trying to center it, and St. Mary's couldn't get to it before it went over the line and out of play. And Classical will get to kick it away. St. Mary's collects. Gets broken up. Classical breaks it up. Looking for a break. And here's Mackey breaking it up. "15 minutes gone in the second half. St. Mary's comfortably ahead. And Classical just can't get anything going offensively. They squeeze it by. It gets deflected, and it's going to go out. I think Classical's going to get a corner kick. Correnti, I think, is going to take it from the far side. Moscow ran a play off that, but wasn't successful as they get broken up, and now St. Mary's breaks it up again. Classical just barely kept it in play. Trying to get around. Down the far corner. Classical couldn't keep it in, it went out of play. Mackey will kick it away after the substitution. Kept in nicely by Jessica Page. And Mackey gets there before Molly Mannion does. Mackey comes back and gets a piece of that pass from behind, knocks it away, and St. Mary's has the ball. Deflected back. Broken up by Mannion. Knock it deep. It goes out of play. Out off Classical. Bounces over the St. Mary's bench area out of play off Classical. St. Mary's down deep. Looking to get possession. Looking to get the shot on net. I believe Mannion got a piece of it. Knocked it away. And St. Mary's going to wind up with a corner kick coming from the far side. They bring Mackey all the way in from her center field spot. They throw it in. It got blocked out in front, and the shot went wide. They hit kind of a ground ball. It wound up on the foot of Mateo. She got the shot off. It got deflected back, and then the shot went wide. Popped up. St. Mary's heads it out. Halfway through and counting the second half. 4-0 St. Mary's. Now it goes out. And went out off McGahee. McGahee. St. Mary's comes out of the pack with it. Diaz with a couple of nice shifts. Looking for the return pass from Demers. It got broken up. Demers came back, got a piece, but Classical takes it away. And then it got deflected out. Cornell makes a nice little shift to hold on to it. Knocks it cross field. It's going to go out of play. Taken away nicely by St. Mary's. They knock it deep, and there's that speed again. Glasgow hustles and breaks up Demers. Demers a step away from going it alone yet again. Down the far side. Looking to try and center it. They bang it off Mannion. And then Glasgow kicks it high and wide and out of play. Broken up. Forcing St. Mary's to pull it all the way back. In the middle, nice defense by Kebrew again, breaking up the play. And we're going offside. Love it with the lead pass. But Emily Egan was offside. How the ball goes out off St. Mary's. Correnti again will throw it in, but we have subs first. McGaughy gets loose, pushes it ahead. Broken up as she ran into Egan. Demers pushes it ahead, but she couldn't squeeze through the two defenders. She got bumped and it slowed her down. And Shaw was able to come out and pick off the ball. It broke through. Demers looked like if she got one more step, she would have walked in alone again. But she just couldn't squeeze through the two defenders. Here comes Demers again. Out in front across. Just a little too far beyond the net, and it wound up going out of play. St. Mary's keeping the pressure on, not letting Classical get out of their own end. And there's Demers again getting involved, knocking it into the side of the net, out of play. Mannion's going to kick it away after we have a sub. Right onto the foot of Demers. Broken up again by St. Mary's. St. Mary's once again keeping it in. St. Mary's breaks it up. I don't know, it's been a long time since Classical has got anywhere near the 30-yard line of St. Mary's, never mind near the net. Demers walking in, throws it out in front. Trying to get a little backhand shot off. Demers with another great rush, threw it out in front. And I couldn't get a real good shot off. This won't be a corner kick. This is like a lot closer. It's a free kick right on the goal line from a very tough angle. They're going to move the little picket fence that Classical sets up a little further back. Everybody trying to pick a partner, everybody breaking toward the net. And he almost wrapped it around the pole. Perfect kick by Katie O'Neill. It was ticketed going inside the near post. And Show just moved over and caught it waist high. And once again, St. Mary's keeping it in the Classical end. And Demers again almost got loose. Again, that was about a half a step from getting loose. Classical knocked it out. St. Mary's will get a corner kick. And again, they bring Mackey all the way down from her center field defensive spot. Everybody milling around the near side. Now everybody breaks up. Mackey actually got a head on it, and it gets deflected away. McGaughy took it out of harm's way, but then she was all by herself, had nobody with her, got broken up. Mackey gets it upfield. Niccolo pushes it away. Looking for Demers. And she got taken down. They call it on Classical. And St. Mary's going to get a free kick. Mackey will take it from just about a foot outside the 15-yard line. They put it at about the 16-yard line. A little bit of an angle. Mackey looking to take the kick. It got headed. It went way right. There were a bunch of St. Mary's players way over to the right side. It never hooked back, but St. Mary's got a head on it, and it was looking like it was going in the net, and Shaw went up as high as she could, got a hand on it, and knocked it over the net and out of play. And we'll get another corner kick coming from the far side. Now the ground ball off Mannion's foot. Mackey will track it down. Kicks it towards the net. One big hop into the arms of Alexandra Shaw. And she boots it away. The only thing left in doubt in this one is, well, I don't know if you can say, will Classical score? Will Classical get a shot on net? Here's Demers again. Broken up as she tried to get around. She made 2 good moves but couldn't get around 3. And Classical finally clears it away as it popped loose out in front of the net. Demers broken up again. Corner kick coming from the near side this time. Last time O'Neill wrapped it almost inside the near post from this corner kick. Gets it out in front. They got a couple of heads on it. And they headed it right into a Classical defender who knocked it out of play. So St. Mary's came close on that play. The nice corner kick right out in front of the net. Right about the goal line. And there were 2 St. Mary's players. They both looked like they got a head on it or got a piece of it. Now the corner kick will come from the other side. They get it up again. Knock loose. Shot got blocked, and then the shot goes over the net and out of play. 6 minutes and counting left in this one. So it will be St. Mary's taking on Lynn English in the 2019 City Series Championship. Lynn Classical will take on Lynn Tech. Both of those will be looking for their first wins of the season on Saturday as Keebrew breaks up the play. They bang it off St. Mary's, but St. Mary's collects, and now they call St. Mary's offside. Classical breaks it up nicely, knocks it upfield. Mackey is there. And Classical trying to push it upfield. Hannah Guthrie knocked it too far out of play. Out off Classical. Megan Lovett puts it in play. Knocked ahead by Nerrick. Maggie Nerrick. Once again, St. Mary's has it back on the Classical net end. Pushing it ahead. They shift. It's loose. Broken up by Classical. Mannion tries to knock it ahead. St. Mary's picks it off. Broken up out in front by the Classical defense. Broken up and knocked out by Classical. Again, the only thing left is, will Classical even get a shot on net? They haven't had one yet. They haven't had a shot that even went wide. The ball has been in the Classical end almost the entire game. Now, Classical, I think, got called for a knockdown. Or Classical got knocked down. St. Mary's got called. Now I guess they're saying they both knocked each other down because they had a face-off at midfield. I don't know what that was all about. 2 minutes and counting. St. Mary's offensively and defensively has been just about perfect. Classical just hasn't been able to get any offense going at all. As it stands now, Ezra Brown's going to get a very easy shutout. They're way behind the defense. I think he called the offense, the offside. If nothing else, the ball went out of play. So Classical Mannion will get to kick it away. They did call the offside because it's coming outside the end zone. Correnti with it. They pop it up. St. Mary's picks it off and keeps it in the Classical end. It's been there probably 99% of the game. When it has gone past the 50-yard line, St. Mary's has brought it back very quickly. And we're in the final 2 minutes. As Classical knocks it out of play. Bouncing around. Classical bangs it off Classical, out of play. Time winding down as Jimmy Foley has to be really happy about the way his kids played this game. They didn't let Classical get going at all. Booted away. Mackey knocks it down. That's going to do it. So 2 shutouts, both 4-0. English over Tech. St. Mary's over Classical. It'll be St. Mary's and English in the championship final. Classical and Tech in the consolation game on Saturday. They got out very quickly. Demers beat the defense to the ball deep in the right corner. Threw it out in front. It deflected further out in front. And there was Gabrielle Diaz to get her first of 2 goals, tipping it home. 32 seconds into the game, St. Mary's let Classical know what was coming. They got the first goal with 32 seconds. A perfect pass from Susanna Cornell led Kayla Demers in all by herself. She banged it home. It was 2-0. And then Demers beat the defense, walked in, sent a terrific pass across to a streaking Gabrielle Diaz, who walked in alone and banged it in for her second goal to make it 3-0 at halftime. And then it was Cornell again with another picture-perfect pass, leading Demers in alone on show. She banged it home for her second goal, and that made it 4-0, and that was the final score. So Cornell got 2 perfect passes for assists. Demers got 2 goals. Diaz got 2 goals. Demers picked up an assist. And Classical played extremely well defensively. St. Mary's played very well defensively. Classical could not get started. They couldn't get out of their own end. They never got a shot on net. Didn't come close. I don't know if they get inside the 30-yard line of St. Mary's. If they do, they cleared it right out again and got it right back in the Classical end. So a very nice win by Jimmy Foley and his St. Mary's Spartans. And they win it over Classical by a score of 4-0. And they'll move on to the championship final against Lynn English. So 4-0. St. Mary's over Classical. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.